Hello, I'm Pastor John of the Baptist Church in the Great Valley, and with Thanksgiving coming, I wanted to talk about turkeys. Now, if you hear someone being called a turkey, it would imply they were clumsy or incompetent or lacking common sense. That's because domestic turkeys that are raised on farms have had their wild instincts bred out of them and tend to be that way. Farm-raised turkeys tend to be easy to catch and kind of clueless about life. But wild turkeys that grow up in the woods are smart, cunning, and a challenge to even see. They have excellent hearing and keen eyesight. They can run at 18 miles an hour and fly at over 50 miles an hour for short distances. At night, they often roost in evergreen trees. I have very few pictures of wild turkeys. In order to get more, I drove to the Upper Schuylkill Valley Park on Route 113, where they have a number of local animals, including a raccoon, a bobcat, a porcupine, and a red-tailed hawk. But on this day, I wanted to photograph the turkeys. The male turkey is sometimes called the gobbler or the tom. It can grow to be 3 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet long. On average, the male weighs about 16 pounds, while the females, or sometimes called the hen, weigh only about 10 pounds. Notice how the color of the feathers match the leaves on the ground, helping it to be hidden and inconspicuous. The males have bony spikes on the back of their legs that they use for fighting. They also grow what is called a beard in the middle of their chest. Sometimes the beards can break off or be damaged, so they're really not a reliable indicator of their age, but when fully mature, they can be a foot long. The hens have neither beards nor spurs. A male's head is practically bare, often blue or gray in color, while the head of a hen is covered with fine feathers. In addition, the male has a soft, pencil-like appendage that dangles between his eyes and is called a snood. Is this turkey a male or a female, do you think? When the male is seeking to attract the attention of a female, he will fan out his tail feathers in a display. He'll tuck his head back against his body and strut about, dragging his wingtips on the ground. Rival males will push or shove each other, trying to knock each other off balance. Sometimes you can hear the toms gobble late in the evening or early in the morning to attract the females. And a dominant male may collect 8 to 12 hens into his harem. The female will usually lay between 8 and 15 eggs, which take nearly a month to hatch. The little ones grow quickly, eating green vegetation and shoots and tubers and nuts and insects. When they find a good food source, they gobble it up, and the food goes down into their crop, which is like a shopping bag where all of the food is piled in. Then the food slowly moves into a thick, muscular organ called a gizzard, where the food is ground up. Like all birds, the turkey will swallow small stones and bits of gravel, which travel to the gizzard and help the food get digested. Turkeys were an important source of food for native North Americans and early settlers in this country. Benjamin Franklin so admired this big bird with its cunning and intelligence that he recommended it as being our national emblem rather than the eagle. Now the prophet Hosea spoke on behalf of God, saying, "I will make for you a covenant on that day with the wild animals, the birds of the air, and the creeping things of the ground." So when we sit down to our dinner on Thanksgiving Day, let us remember that we're not just eating tasty protein, but remember just how special these creatures are that God has given us to eat.